Today's episode of 7 on Sunday is brought to you by me. I have new 10-year ARTV celebration merch available. Hannah designed this and I absolutely love it. I've got one of my own on the way or else I'd be wearing it in this video right now. But if you want to pick one of those up, help support the channel, celebrate 10 years. It's a great design. It does help support ARTV. It's the top link down below, or else there should be a merch shelf below this video that has it too. Hey neighbor, welcome back to ARTV. My name is John, and it's time for another episode of 17 on Sunday. Come on, sometimes we gotta break our own rules around here. 7 on Sunday, 17 on Sunday, you're not gonna complain, are ya? Look, I had to extend it to 17 on Sunday today because I finally came across one of those topics where even if I do a part 2 in the future, I know I'm gonna have more than enough for that because I already have an overflow playlist. Today we're talking about a viewer-requested topic, 17 songs that sound like they're from a different decade. There's gonna be a full playlist linked in the description down below. Go follow that on Spotify in addition to following me on Spotify, username Compton182. And other than that, if you enjoy the video today, then help a neighbor out by dropping a like on it and subscribe for the love of music. Look, I don't care that the saxophone in the studio version of this song isn't actually a saxophone. I know that it's being emulated on a keyboard, but this song is just pure pop perfection, and it's such a shame that everyone slept on this song. It should have been a much bigger hit. Carly Rae had all the ingredients for success, but I guess the masses didn't want this catchy, euphoric expression of love after Call Me Maybe. It might sound like the 1980s, but rest assured it's actually just one of the best pop songs of the 2010s. Keeping it in the 80s lane once again, the South African solo artist known as Saint Lucia delivers what I feel is actually his best song, at least his best song to date, on this absolutely dazzling, breathtaking synth-pop banger, Rescue Me. The keyboard progressions and falsetto vocals are breathtaking, and although this song is repetitive, it's done to build suspense to help the song reach its climax before shying away and doing it all over again. If you ever need to just blow off steam and dance your ass off, then make this your go-to song. I promise that you won't be disappointed, and I also promise that you'll never have to see me actually do that because that would be very embarrassing, but it has happened. Tangled in a web of darkness and 90s alternative hardcore grunge, Citizen landed one of their biggest accomplishments to date on their 2015 single Stain. Cutting together a loud, menacing bass line with shouted, aggressive vocals from Matt Caracas made them worthy of a label beyond that of pop punk, and the guitar solo towards the end is just what this song needs to make you forget that it actually came out this decade.
Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run a game, got the whole world talking. King Coulter, everybody wanna cut the legs off. King Coulter, black man taking no loss.
Within seconds of pressing play, K-Dot shows us exactly what groove he's trying to settle into. King Kunta is not only a victory lap, it's also something that features such lively bass guitar, these playful punchlines, and it really helped him stay on top of his throne. The Compton rapper spouts off bars like it's 1995 and this retro-sounding West Coast hip-hop anthem about the stragglers in life that only seem to want you when they can get something from you. And after Kendrick's meteoric rise to fame, it makes sense to put them on blast on the record, or should I say on tape, considering what song this decade actually sounds like it's coming from. Mysterious eluder of decade classification, wherefore art thou? Oh, there you are. It's in fact not one of the best songs of 2002 or even 1972. It's just one of the contenders for the best of 2019. White Reaper are a band name you should probably just go ahead and familiarize yourself with due to the fact that number one, they rule, and number two, this slice of heaven might be right shares some unrelenting catchiness due to the irresistible guitars, 70s meets 80s style solo, and the perfect chorus with detailed lyrics that go far beyond what most modern hooks will actually offer you. There's a lot of praise that I could heap on pretty much any song in the Church's back catalog, but in particular their debut album The Bones of What You Believe, and this track Science and Visions really makes its eerie presence unmistakable. This sounds like something straight out of an 80s horror flick, or else the Stranger Things soundtrack, as this spacey cut laments fears in life and places the ever-resident voice of Lauren Mayberry in full control. The trio's sound is further aided on this song with some exemplary synths and chilling backing vocals to further add to the spine-tingling fall mood that Science provides.
Far away, stays for a day, never a frown with golden brown.
I finally get to talk about this fucking song! I've been waiting to talk about this track forever, but it didn't really make sense and I didn't want to just shoehorn it in. But I don't even know how I found this song. I scrolled through my Shazam history, I looked at movie soundtracks, everything. It's almost like Golden Brown just saved itself to my Spotify collection, and now it's in my top 100 favorite songs of all time. Praise be to the music gods! The Stranglers were mainly known in the 80s and were an English band that often designated punk and post-punk as their primary genre. However, Golden Brown is a fuzzy warm exception to that, being a masterful cut with two completely different interpretations lyrically. There's kind of a Baroque feeling that's evoked mainly due to the buzzing harpsichord and keys, so anyone who happened to be a fan of Pretty Odd by Panic at the Disco, breaking news, you're gonna love this! It's about a girl, it's about heroin, it's about Golden Brown, a feeling that's just out of reach, it seems, on what is truly a masterpiece. The final section is just as entrancing as these hypnotizing guitars kick into the mix, while the vocals seem to sway in the breeze like the branches of a willow tree in a light storm. It's something that completely captures the entire mood of an atmosphere I didn't even know existed at one point, but it's there, and it's absolute perfection.
Yes, you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven.
There's not a ton to add here, but it's simply a must to include this future pop classic from Bruno Mars. Instant 70s Police vibes will have your eardrums swimming in something that's certainly spiritual, or maybe even physical. Whatever it is, just know that you've found paradise, even though you've technically been locked out of heaven.
Now I thought about what I wanna say, but I never really know where to go, so I dream myself to a friend.
Dazzling dance rock invades your speakers on this Daft Punk diamond that features Julian Casablancas of The Strokes on vocals. Some would say that this track leans a little bit more towards the 80s, but I would personally say I hear a bit more of the 70s here, although it's certainly got a little bit of both worlds. Rhythmic disco drumming syncs with a beautiful shimmering synth that lifts Julian's vocoded vocals to some huge emotional heights. Splicing in a guitar solo was truly a stroke of genius, and the fact that this song can repeat itself quite a bit over the course of 5+ minutes without ever feeling stale is a testament to how great all of the artists involved actually are. Hate that I never got a chance to fully talk about the most recent ROBYN album, Honey, but here's to making up for that by featuring this suave 90s influenced electro house jam that kills it on so many different levels. Reading between the lines has never been this much fun, as the Swedish pop star carves out just enough space for her strong voice as the intentionally slightly off-key synths twirl around her. If you're looking for something to take you back to those simpler times and a simpler decade, or if you just want to feel connected to the movement that you weren't even alive for, then I can't suggest this one enough. It's truly a ton of fun. As much as the temptation called for me to put one of the singles from this album on here, I had to show some love to Mystery of Pop, a 60s sounding psychedelic pop tune. Volcano, the second album by the very old school sounding British band Temples, is a splendid listen top to bottom, but Mystery of Pop really stands out with its brazen synths that almost sound like whistles and an energetic tempo that stirs together a lot of instruments that Temples simply didn't utilize on their less distinct debut Sun Structures. Anthony Gonzalez, you absolute genius. A treasure chest fell from heaven in 2011, or perhaps it was 1982, but whatever the case, its name is Midnight City, And this is a song that you've more than likely heard unless you've been living under a musical rock for the past decade, which, if you've been doing that, then how the hell did you find my channel? Midnight City is a perfect exercise in balancing light but impactful words with a firecracker of an instrumental that just explodes every time the hook rolls up. The sax soloing going on at the end of the song is beyond what the term eargasmic could describe, and of course the bass and production from Justin Meldal Johnson remains flawless to this day. I admit it, you thought I was gonna talk about that one song. No, my friend. Instead, there was a whole album of underrated songs just waiting to be under the covered that were also influenced by the 80s. Now shut up and avalanche with me. Prepare to slide into the feels with this cozy cut from Talking Is Hard, a song that offers both engaging sing-along worthy vocals and a racing guitar synth combo that will spin your ears back to the best moments the decade had to offer. The attention to detail does not go unappreciated from this music fan. Everything is so well layered and crisp in the mix that I had to give it a shout. Well done, boys. Avalanche will continue to rip for decades to come. As new as it may be, the former One Direction member dialed back time to the 90s Britpop and rock explosion on a total treat. Nice to meet ya. It was certainly nice to meet this song after an underwhelming folk pop affair the first time around from NIALL HORAN. This gets all the moves right and pays homage to a decade gone by with a loose but effective rock-leaning jam that treats his vocals so much better when paired up with those shimmering guitars and grandiose piano hits. This is a song that doesn't let up for its entire runtime. Stepping through the portal to channel 60s girl groups without sounding like a bad carbon copy of those things isn't easy to do, but the indie band LUCIUS made it sound easy on the stunning Turn It Around. I have the built-in song library on Rock Band 4 to thank for this discovery I made at the end of 2015, given that Turn It Around is a quippy, buzzing song with some detailed guitar patterns that I adore and vocal harmonizing that knocks every note out of the park. Jealousy or impatience? One of those two things had to be the primary motivating factor behind the writing style from Kevin Parker on the 2015 hit The Less I Know The Better that sounds a lot like the 70s. Whatever the inspiration, it doesn't really matter because the smooth sailing alternative disco tune feels angelic and troubled at the same time. You could really fool someone not familiar with this song that it's not from our modern era, mainly thanks to Parker's perfectionist attitude that took over 1,000 different vocal takes to nail down The Less I Know. Shit, I know I've gotten to be that way about my videos at times, but that many recordings for one singular song? That's pure insanity, but I suppose there's a bit of truth to that saying that the best artists, they're all a little bit crazy.
Do you wanna stay together? Hey, if you do, then let's please make some.
Pure, untainted expressions of love flow forth from the pairing of Anderson .Paak and Motown legend Smokey Robinson on this 2019 song that sounds like something straight out of yesteryear. The harmonizing and vocal talent radiating from both of these artists makes this not only enjoyable, but almost emotional on a myriad of different levels, as you can see a man fighting to keep the love ignited in a relationship. The swelling strings, keys, and guitar match the mood of the lyrics so well that I don't think I could find a flaw in this song even if I wanted to. There's all of my picks for 17 songs that sound like they're from a different decade. Obviously, I could not include everything. There's gonna be some overflow in the playlist that I'm linking down below. Go follow me on Spotify so you see that and other playlists that I create for you guys. And if you don't mind, drop a like on this video, subscribe for the love of music, and of course share it out with a friend. Help the channel grow, pass it on to another neighbor. In the comments section today, let me know what you thought of my picks. Let me know if you discovered any tunes by checking out this playlist. Let me know what you're loving, but also comment some others that you think sound like they're from a different time. You stepped into a time machine of music. A couple of recent episodes here, socials in the description, and I will see you soon for more right here on ARTV.